Hi everyone, this is Neel Raithatha, consultant audiologist and director of ClearWax. Thank you for joining me in my latest video using the WAXscope, and this was a severe case of sorominosis, which is the medical term given for an earwax impaction. And first off, you can just look at the colour of this wax. It's almost pitch black. Now, freshly secreted wax is orange, light brown in shade, and the longer it's in the ear, it oxidizes and it slowly turns black or blacker. But this is, I would say this is more black than brown. So now this wax as well, to me, felt really impacted, and I'll give you a summary of their symptoms. So this patient traveled from Cheshire, which is probably about a 3-hour drive each way, and they're reporting hearing loss, otologist ear pain, tonal tinnitus. So when I say tonal tinnitus, it's a sound that originates with inside your ears or head. They were also experiencing pulsatile tinnitus, whereby it's not so much a sound, but almost like your heartbeat. You can hear it within your ears or your head. It can be cardiosynchronous, so it's synchronized to your heartbeat, or it could be non-cardiosynchronous. Fullness, pressure in the ear. They had really severe jaw pain, throbbing, stabbing pains. When they were pulling their ear, it was extremely painful. The pain was also radiating not only to the jaw but to the temple region, and they were getting they mentioned I would say it's more of a gag reflex and a cough reflex, and they're taking a lot of painkillers prior to attending. Now, I'm going to just explain it to begin with. The reason why we didn't use manual instruments, when you've got a severe impaction like this and a patient attends in pain already, I want to avoid using manual instruments. Now, we couldn't use forceps because the surface of the wax is completely flat. And whenever you're using an ear hook or correct or an ear pick with this severe impaction, first of all, we're having to go in between the wax and the canal wall, which will be uncomfortable, especially because this is on the bony part of the ear canal, the inner 2/3. If you're then trying to penetrate a hook or a pick into this wax, again, you're applying pressure. That will be very uncomfortable for the patient. It's already compacted against the ear canal. And also, when the wax is quite deep, and you're getting the hook or pick or correct even behind it, you're coming very close to the canal wall. So I did say to the patient, I'm going to try and remove this using microsuction. Now, obviously, worst comes to worst and we have to resort to manual, we will kind of cross that bridge as and when, but I'm going to try and do this using purely microsuction, which is going to be the least uncomfortable method, because we don't have to make contact with the canal wall or very close to it. Now, on occasions, I am very close to the canal, but there's more margin for error when using suction. Now, this is the first time I've actually used our new 13 gauge and also 11 gauge suction tip. So I was using the standard suction tip is 14 gauge, which has a diameter of 2 millimeters, but it's just not going to be powerful enough for this. So this, I believe, is our 13 gauge. This is a 2.5 millimeter diameter. And before I reverted to it, I did ask the patient, is the noise comfortable with the 14 gauge? And they actually said, we can't really hear it because it was that impacted. And what was interesting as well, I will upload their right ear separately, which is just as bad. But similarly, in their right ear, I went from a 14 gauge to a 13 gauge. And before I did, I asked them whether they could hear the 14 gauge in the ear. And they actually said they couldn't hear any suction noise in their right ear, but they could actually hear it, obviously, in the left ear once I cleaned it. I think this is the 11 gauge. So again, before I went up to the 11 gauge, I asked the patient, are they experiencing any noise? And they says, look, we just can't hear anything. So yeah, use it. Now, the 13 gauge, although in theory it should be more powerful, but because I was getting a bit of leakage of the acoustics, or the suction seal, shall I say, so because it's a larger diameter, when you position it against the wax, if the whole, no, this is the 11 gauge, this is the 3 millimeter one. Because the complete circumference of this suction tip wasn't completely sealed against the wax, there was a gap because this is a larger suction tip. It then also suctions air inside, and it kind of reduces your suction power. So although in theory it should be more powerful, I actually went back in a moment, I'm sure it's in a moment, I go back to the 2.5 where I could create a suction seal. So although it's slightly smaller in diameter and therefore in theory power, you can generate more power when you get a better suction seal. So I'm just going to the posterior canal wall, trying to bring this in. My hands were they were a bit achy after the procedure, after doing both. So this is the 2.5, the 13 gauge. So for any clear wax specialist, these are now available on our website. But obviously you need to use it with caution. Microsuction is a sound sensitive procedure. So it's very well, with the normal 14 gauge, it's very well tolerated. But even with the 14 gauge, you need to make sure, the patient's comfortable. We also do smaller ones like a 15 or 16 gauge. But when you are going up, just check with the patient. How is the current sound levels? Is it uncomfortable? And I said in this case, the patient couldn't hear it. So now, keeping a close eye on the patient throughout, because as I mentioned, they were experiencing this throbbing, jaw pain, temple pain, ear pain, and they were completely fine. And what's great with the WAXscope is, although I'm looking on screen, which is in front of me, my peripheral vision can also monitor the patient. And yeah, they were pleasant, because they were a bit worried and anxious because of how much pain they were experiencing, and it kept them up last night actually. So they came today as an emergency appointment. The patient's mother is a bit, I think, I don't know which, they watch it on YouTube or not, but they do watch my videos, and they call themselves a super fan. And the patient's mother was joking, says, well, like, I would love to come kind of meet you, etc. But I never had the reason, because no one's really suffered from wax. And then here we are. And the patient's mother had a great view, especially on the right side, because they were sat on that side of the room. They could look over my shoulder. Yeah, so I was explaining to both the patient and their mother that when you got a block of wax like this, it's somewhat like Jenga. It may not seem like I'm doing a lot at the moment, but we're breaking this up. And as soon as I get one of the pieces out, I think I probably have on the left, it then starts to all kind of fall away. Now, this is block number 1. Once I get this block, there's another solid block behind this. It's incredible. I wish I had a chance to take a still image at the end. I did run behind with this patient, so I had my next patient coming, so I just didn't have time. Now, on their right side, when I upload that, the plug itself, it was literally like a stone. It had some sharp edges, and when you could see that plug of wax was abrasing the posterior canal wall. It was a bit tender there. On this side, there was no sharp edges. So I've just put another lacquer of oil in there. I still think I'm using the 2.5. And what I'm going to try, and you'll see me release it in a moment. And when I released it, although the wax wasn't near, the patient could hear a lot better. It's just at this stage. So I've worked around, and now I'm just trying to lift it up and away, but I'm generating the suction power. So the key bit here is not to come away too quickly with the suction power. I think a hair just got in the way there, so I'm just going to move the hair. I'm going to just re-enter. And you can see that plug now is coming towards me. And I knew that because I had to reduce the focus. So with the WAXscope, the lower you've got the focus, you're focusing more near the entrance, and the more you're having to increase the focus, you're focusing deeper in the ear. So when I re-entered with the specular, by that time, as I brought the wax forward, so I had to refocus. You can see it's now coming out. But yeah, beyond this is another plug. And I thought this would be it. I was like, oh, job's done. Move on to I treated their left ear first because it's the worst ear. And there we are. We're presented with another plug. And this plug was a bit more solid. And it's even darker. It's so dark in there. So I'm just trying to find a piece of the wax where I can get a complete seal with the suction tip. I don't want any leakage, and I might No, I think I did. I was going to say I might have reverted to the 14 gauge, but here I think I can just get a good grip on this surface. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to put some more oil in now, because when I was touching that wax, it was almost pinging. It was that solid that when it's so hard like that, it's hard to get an initial suction grip. So you could inadvertently, as you're trying to approach the wax and make contact with it, push it a bit further in. So the oil just helps to soften it just enough. Not only to lubricate the canal, but to help me get a suction grip here. And I found the place. I think I focused here, and it's just now little wriggle movements. So I've just positioned the suction tip slightly higher up. I'm talking a fraction of a millimeter just to get a full seal, because at the bottom left a moment ago, that suction tip became below that surface, so I was losing suction power. And we get audible cues. So with the suction machine, the more suction and vacuum you generate, the suction pump becomes quieter. And now it's slowly coming away. So the reason why this patient was experiencing coughing or the gag reflex was because it was stimulating the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the Arnold's nerve, which is a branch of the vagus nerve, and it runs typically on the back posterior quadrant, or not quadrant, hemisphere really, the back section of the eardrum and the posterior inferior region of the ear canal. So the back part of the ear canal, so in the case of the left ear, it's on the right hand side and the lower section. And when you're in that region, it can cause a gag or cough reflex. So I'm just trying to maneuver this out. Again, I'm just trying to find an optimal part of the surface of the wax to bring this forwards. And there we are. I've got a nice level bit here where it's large enough to incorporate and house the whole suction tip. I think this may break away by the look of it. We shall see. But this is right near the entrance now. Well, it's probably just at the junction of the second bend. And we're now approaching the narrowest part of the ear. So when you've got a big plug of wax like this, getting it out from this region can be challenging. So I'm just giving it little wriggle movements. And the key thing for me throughout the procedure is patient comfort. So we're always asking, always checking. Okay, just little wriggle movements, left to right, up and down, round in circles. And as I'm doing that, I'm coming away. And the smaller the movement sometimes, the better it is, because you're still containing that suction grip. So, got that out. There's just some remnants here. We're just going to mop all this up. And then there's a bit at the roof and posteriorly. So, the eardrum's not fully visible, although they can hear completely normally now, but I'm just going to get all this out. And this was, despite all that oil we used in, it was very dry, hardened. There's just a bit on the anterior canal. I was going to see if we can peel some of this away. Again, with the WAXscope, we've got that magnification. We can work in close detail. Just going to lift this, peel towards the eardrum. I think there's a little bit left, but we're going to leave that. I did hover over it. Like with this, when I hovered over it, it came away. But with this bit, just to the bottom left, I'm just having a quick look at the eardrum first. So they've got quite a prominent medial anterior canal wall, so which means they've also got a prominent recess. So as we go beyond that to the left, there's a bit of an opening. All looks good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys.